Hello, fellow Whovians. Today I'm just going to give a few of my thoughts and opinions on the recent episode of Doctor Who Listen. There's been a lot of talk about it since it aired last night. There's a lot of people hating on Moffat. There's a lot of people loving Danny Pink. There's a lot of mixed reviews about Clara. And not actually a lot of mention about the Doctor himself, which I find is a little strange. So, I've come here to burden you with my thoughts. Firstly, the episode for me was a 6 or a 7 out of 10. But I think that's going to improve in time. I genuinely do. I don't think it's going to be the letdown episode of the series. Some people are already saying that Robot of Sherwood was that, but I still don't think that that is it quite yet. In fact, I don't think we're going to have a letdown episode of the series at all. I don't think we really had one in the last series, unless someone can remind me of it. So I don't think it's going to be happening again. This isn't back to the low budget days of Eccleston or Tennant where we had to put those episodes in. We've got a bigger budget now. We've got definitely more storyline involved. So, dogs arguing, maybe they don't agree with me. Listen, for me, was brilliant at the beginning and at the very end. The middle bit seemed to trundle on, kind of was trying to give us clarification information, but give us no clarification or information. It was just one of those things they were trying to strive to the end to give us that, I have to say, amazing endings. Clara. I have never actually liked Clara. I love Oswin, and I know a lot of you will say, yeah, but it's the same person. But no, it isn't. Look back, and it isn't. I much prefer Oswin over Clara. But I think with Danny being around, Mr. Pink himself, she actually seemed to improve on me. I actually liked her more when she was with him than when she was just by herself. But one of the most annoying things at all is the fact that she is so wrapped up in the Doctor's storyline. Now, I know there are reasons behind this. I have full faith in Moffat, where a lot of people don't. But it is getting a tad annoying now that she seems to be the reason for everything he does. So, yeah. At the same time, though, I really liked that. I really liked the fact that it linked in that barn and the War Doctor go into the barn. I like the fact that we know why he was there. That was something we never actually questioned. But yeah, we've been given an answer to it. It's such a strange thing. I really like that. And that's why I think this episode shouldn't be just looked at as what it is right now. I think it's tied off ends we didn't know need tying off from previous episodes, and I think it's going to link into episodes in the future. I think it's going to be one of the best episodes in terms of getting us through the storyline. Clara as well. I think, in a way, it was good that it was her. Because she's so wrapped up in his timeline anyway, I think that because that's happened, it was better and easier for her to be the one to have gone back and seen him as a child. Saying that, seeing him as a child was one of those brilliant things, I think, that we've had in a long time, because I think it was one of those things, again, we didn't know we were going to have. We didn't know we were going to see the Doctor as a child. But it really linked it as well, going back, which it seems a lot of these episodes have been linking back to kind of earlier series. And I don't know if that's to do something with just Capaldi, since he is such a big fan and he's been saying, I want to be like one of the older Doctors. Or maybe it's just Stevens decided to include some of it in his writing. But we had that little line from the Doctor about Sontarans. We've had, kind of reverse the polarity. We've had a lot of things that have linked real back. But I think for this one, this linked back to Madame de Pompadour, which actually the first episode of the series did as well. But this kind of, she said when she went into his mind, she was such a lonely child or such a lonely boy. I can't remember the exact lines, don't hate me for it. But yeah, I think that was really good, because as much as we believed it, and we know that the Doctor has changed through his lifetime, to actually be able to see it for ourselves and see that this was a little boy who didn't really want to become a Time Lord, who didn't want to go into war, he didn't want to be a soldier, yet life has made him that way. Life changed him so much, and it's sort of good that we got to see that part of him and see the kind of place he came from, because I think a lot of us have forgotten that. I think a lot of us, and I think the Doctor himself, has kind of forgotten who he was. Am I a good man, Clara? Prime example. And I know a lot of you are probably watching this and going, wow, you were taking this way too seriously. But you know what? Why not? Why not take it seriously? This is a TV show that's been going on for over, 50 years. Why not get wrapped up in the whole idea, lifetime and philosophy of it all? I mean, it's something that I enjoy. It's something that a lot of people enjoy. So let's take it a bit seriously. And at the end of the day, you've got to listen to what Robin Hood said. Yeah. That was also a really good part. Sorry, just stopping and thinking, because that was like one of my favourite lines. You were as real as I am. That bit really got to me. I really liked that. And I think that's what really brought up the Robot of Sherwood episode up for me, was that one line. But this is not a review about Robot of Sherwood. This is a review about Listen. So, let me continue. The beginning bit with the chalkboard was absolutely amazing. I like it. It makes him seem like a teacher. Sitting on top of the TARDIS, badass. Ending, yeah, brilliant. Going back in the timeline, seeing all that, linking all that up. Danny Pink and variations of I Love. I'm really sorry, I can't remember the actor's name, but it's one of those things I'm going to have to do. I still can't remember some of the newer ones as well. I don't know the name of the woman who plays Madame Vastra or Jenny or Strax. I really need to learn these. Although I've got so many names in my head from all different series, I really need to remember some more of the actors' names. But the guy, the wonderful guy, the guy I have fallen in love with, who plays Danny Pink and their versions of, was brilliant. And I think he's definitely adding something to the mix. And I like the fact he's established more than kind of other sort of part-timey sort of companions are. I mean, no, he isn't a companion yet, but I think with Rory, he wasn't really fully introduced at the beginning. Mickey, bless him, was never really fully introduced at the beginning. But I think now Danny and variations of have, and I think that's a major thing. I'm glad they've started off with introducing him from the beginning to now, and even future, than leaving it till further in the series when they realise, oh, actually, everybody really likes this character, everybody wants to see more of him. I'm glad he's been given a fair chance in the Whovian world. But before I go, I mean, I know I haven't said anything I want to say, but I will still stand by, if anybody asks me about the writing, I still stand by the fact that Moffat is a brilliant genius of a storyline developer, writer and director. And I think that we should all just go with him and then at the end of the series decide if we still hate him. Because I don't think you have so far. I think every series usually written, there's every episode everyone complains about, and then you look at the series overall and everybody loves it. I think you all just need to give him a bit of credit sometimes, guys. He knows what he's doing. So stick with him. Stick with the Doctor and he'll see you through to the end. But the final bit I like to go on is the bit a lot of people have been talking about. The fact is, who wrote Listen on the chalkboard if the Doctor says it isn't him? And who was under the sheets on Danny's, or should I say Rupert's bed? Those questions never got answered. What was outside knocking never got answered. Because we're damn sure that was knocking. So, I've got a little bit of information for you. And I could be completely wrong, but I'd like to leave it with you anyway. The orphanage in the recent episode was filmed in Porthcawl, which is actually really local to me. And when I found out they were filming in Porthcawl, I went down to go and have a look for myself. Now, this was in the middle of the day. That episode was filmed in the evening. Another strange thing is, when I went, there was a stub of a tree and the rest of a tree laying down. They'd been placed there. There is no tree there. I know is local to me. So a chopped down tree was placed there, and near that was the TARDIS. Now, from the shot to get where the TARDIS doors were, and with the tree in shot, the building that was used for the orphanage would still be behind it. So, are the Doctor Who guys just hoping that we don't recognise the building? Or, in the future, will the Doctor be going back to the orphanage? Maybe he's realised that there was something on top of Danny's bed. Maybe he'll realise that he wasn't wrong after all. Maybe we'll find out what that monster is that follows us around. Maybe it's not just made up in our heads. Maybe, just maybe, we'd get that scary creature we wanted at the beginning of the episode after all. I can tell you now that when I went there, I met Mr. Peter Capaldi. And the outfit he was wearing when he met me, which was an outfit of the Doctor, wasn't the one he was wearing that episode. So, are we going to be going back in time again? Back to the orphanage? Back to solve the mystery? Who knows? Let's wait and find out. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you want to subscribe, please do like this video, share it, and I hope I've left you on a bit of a weird mystery. Mwah.